Suspected human remains and hiking boots found during the search for two young Dutch women.
Imagine two best friends trekking through a lush Panamanian jungle, then vanishing without a trace.
All the best for the rest of your lives and stuff. I'm really going to miss you.
Picture a woman shopping in a sunny Tenerife supermarket, only to be suddenly decapitated by a stranger.
She says you couldn't see the face because everything was covered in blood.
Or a young woman, trapped in a toxic relationship, doused in gasoline and set on fire by the man who once claimed to love her.
Hello?
This is 911.
We have a problem.
These aren't scenes from a horror film. They're real. They happened. And they're among the most brutal, chilling deaths ever. Welcome back to People Who Died in the Most Horrific Ways. What happens when a dream trip to paradise spirals into a disappearance so strange, it feels almost scripted? In April 2014, two Dutch students, Kmers and Leanne Frun, arrived in Panama, excited to volunteer, learn Spanish, and explore the breathtaking cloud forests near Boquete. Young, adventurous, and full of life, they set out on April 1st for a hike along the popular Pianista Trail, accompanied by a friendly local dog. That evening, the dog returned home alone. Chris and Leanne were never seen alive again. As hours turned into days, concern grew. Authorities launched an intense search. Helicopters buzzed overhead, search dogs sniffed through the underbrush, and indigenous trackers scoured the dense jungle.
Als iemand informatie heeft, alsjeblieft laat ze dan nu naar voren komen en maak een einde aan onzekerheid. Geef ons onze geliefde terug en breng ze veilig terug.
For 10 long weeks there was nothing, until a local woman discovered their blue backpack neatly placed on a riverbank. Strangely, it was clean and dry, despite weeks of relentless rain. Inside were 2 pairs of sunglasses, cash, a water bottle, 2 bras, Leanne's passport, both their phones, and a digital camera. That's when things got truly eerie. Phone logs revealed 77 attempts to call emergency services, starting just hours after their hike began and continuing for days. Only one call ever connected, for just 2 seconds. The camera told a haunting story. Cheerful hiking selfies on April 1st.
Plek waar ze Chris en Lisanne foto's van elkaar genomen hebben.
Then, 8 days later, 90 bizarre nighttime photos. Images of rocks, belongings, and the back of Chris's head, possibly injured, as if they were desperately trying to signal for help or document their ordeal.
Indien men daar uitglijdt en ten val komt, dan val je 30, 40 meter onder een hoek van 60 graden omlaag. Je komt in een bedding terecht, in een rivierbedding. Op de camera's van de meisjes zijn een serie foto's gevonden waarin delen van de bedding en delen van de omgeving te zien zijn.
In the weeks that followed, searchers found bone fragments, Leanne's boot with a foot inside, and Chris's pelvic bone, scattered miles apart. The official cause of death remains undetermined. Some suspect a tragic accident, others whisper about foul play. But to this day, the jungle keeps its secrets. Rest in peace, Leanne and Chris. It was a dazzling morning in Tenerife, a place where the sun always seemed to promise safety and serenity. Jennifer Mills Wesley, a 60-year-old British grandmother and lifelong humanitarian, wandered the aisles of her favorite Chinese supermarket in Los Cristianos. She was just running errands, savoring her retirement in this island paradise. But on May 13th, 2011, the ordinary shattered into the unimaginable. Jennifer noticed him first, a stranger with wild eyes, pacing, muttering, radiating menace. Her instincts screamed danger. Desperate, she sought refuge in a nearby office, her voice trembling as she told staff she was being followed. A security guard told the man to leave, but the threat was dismissed, the warning unheeded. Moments later, the nightmare unfolded. The man, Dejan Valentinov Dejanov, a 28-year-old Bulgarian with a history of violent psychosis, returned, clutching a butcher's knife he'd just bought, bragging he would kill. In a flash of horror, he attacked Jennifer, stabbing her neck again and again. Then, in a scene almost too grotesque to imagine, beheaded her right there in the store. Panic erupted. Shoppers and staff ran for their lives.
Eso no era una cosa horrorosa.
This woman says it was horrible. She says you couldn't see the face because everything was covered in blood.
Dejanov emerged onto the street, holding Jennifer's severed head aloft, screaming, "This is my treasure, and God is on earth," before a security guard finally brought him down. The island's illusion of safety was shattered forever. Jennifer never stood a chance. The most haunting part? This atrocity could have been stopped. Dejanov had been released from psychiatric care just months before, flagged as dangerous, and a warrant for his arrest was issued days earlier, but nothing was done. How could a woman so full of light be lost in such darkness? Her death wasn't just a murder. It was a catastrophic failure, a paradise turned to hell in the blink of an eye.
Shot stopped on the rebound. Johnson, he scores! Get that puck, first NHL goal, Adam Johnson.
Good evening. We begin with the stunning development in the death of former Pittsburgh Penguins hockey player Adam Johnson.
You don't expect to die on the ice, not in front of thousands, not like this. On October 28th, 2023, Adam Johnson, 29, a skilled forward from Minnesota, was playing for the Nottingham Panthers in England's elite ice hockey league. He had tasted the NHL with the Pittsburgh Penguins, now chasing his dream abroad. The arena was packed. The game, routine, until fate intervened. Midway through the second period, Johnson skated into the offensive zone. Sheffield Steelers defenseman Matt Petgrave collided with another player, lost his balance, and his left skate suddenly flew upward. In a split second, the blade slashed across Johnson's neck, severing an artery. Blood spilled onto the ice. Fans screamed. Johnson, desperately clutching his neck, tried to skate toward the bench before collapsing. Players formed a protective ring as medical teams rushed in, but the wound was catastrophic.
And then when he got up and did skate a little bit, we knew he was really, really in trouble. And then it was just a waiting game, waiting to hear from somebody, and it was just terrible. It was horrific.
He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The hockey world was stunned. Tributes poured in, moments of silence, flowers, jerseys draped in sorrow. Johnson's jersey number 47 was retired. He was remembered not just as a remarkable player, but as a humble, kind soul with dreams still unfolding. He was living with his fiancée, Ryan Wolfe, planning a future together. The tragedy sparked a reckoning. Police launched a manslaughter investigation. Petgrave was arrested and released on bail, but no charges have been filed. Official statements and those closest to the incident insist it was a freak accident, not malice. Johnson's death changed the game. Leagues worldwide mandated neck guards, hoping to prevent another nightmare frozen in time. A haunting reminder that even in arenas built for speed and skill, fate can slip through the smallest gap, sharp as a blade. She thought it was over. Ma Peiyu had ended the relationship, moved home, and was ready to start again. But her ex, twice her age, wouldn't let go. He stalked her, haunted her steps, ignored every boundary. Then, one December night, Peiyu came home, and her little brother heard the screams. She stumbled into the yard, flames devouring her, whispering with her final breath. It was Huang. She died with 95% burns, lungs scorched, body destroyed. And the receipts? 4 liters of gasoline. Her death rocked Taiwan, igniting outrage over the laws that failed her. Ma Peiyu begged for protection, but no one listened. The sheer horror of these deaths reminds us just how fragile life can be, and how real evil doesn't always wear a mask. From unexplained disappearances in the wilderness to acts of sudden, mindless violence, each story leaves behind a trail of questions, fear, and heartbreak. Which one haunted you the most? Have we become desensitized to tragedy? Or are these stories a wake-up call to the darkness lurking around us? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to keep diving into the darkest corners of true crime and real-life terror, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our community of seekers. The world is full of twisted tales, and we're just getting started. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.